We have drifted from our fundamental premises and the conservative values that this party used to...
Congressman Hunter, you get the last word on this.
All right, presidential hopeful Ron Paul talking about the Republican Party's direction at today's GOP debate in Iowa, the first this campaign season. The congressman from Texas is starting to make some noise in the presidential race, but a lot of voters still don't know much about him, so we wanted to take some extra time here with Congressman Paul. He rejoins me now live from Des Moines. All right, so back to the Alex Jones thing, and then I'm going to move on because I've got health care, immigration, and other stuff that people want to know about. Regarding the conspiracy theory behind 9/11, I know that you do not believe that there was a conspiracy theory. However, you know this guy sort of supports that idea. So then why would you associate yourself with this kind of guy, considering your reputation as a presidential hopeful?
Well, just think of what it would be like if I could only go on the TV stations, the major TV networks, when I knew they agreed with me on all of it. All the major networks agreed with the war. That meant I could never be on any major TV network. Of course I don't support everything he says. But people that I associate with, I don't endorse their views. They come and associate with me to endorse my views, or I'm just expressing my views. But there'd be no way I could be on television if that was the litmus test, that I had to agree with everything that they stood for and what they promoted. It just wouldn't work.
All right, let's go on to the next email. Demetria Sumner from Garland, Texas writes, Mr. Paul, it has been said that you are a libertarian in Republican clothes. Your views and opinions in reference to America's policy in the Middle East is inconsistent with that of Republican base. Some say that you are running on the wrong ticket. How do you answer to this criticism? And how can we be sure, if you are elected President of the United States, that you will keep America strong by upholding true conservative values?
Well, you look at my voting record. I'm the most conservative member of Congress. I vote for the least amount of spending and the least amount of taxes of anybody. And I advocate the Republican position of the old right, not the neoconservatives. The old right was made up of people like Senator Robert Taft, so it's very Republican. Ronald Reagan is the one that brought the Marines back from Lebanon and said he doesn't want in there because of the irrationality of the politics over there, and all they're doing is killing each other. So I would say this party I'm very comfortable with, because it does have a deep-seated libertarian roots to it, because libertarian just means you follow the Constitution. If you're a constitutionalist and you follow it, you vote for very limited government, and that's all libertarianism is. It's belief in liberty. So you wanted to exclude somebody from the Republican Party because they're adamant about defending individual liberty and the Constitution? I just don't understand that. And besides, I'm getting a lot of welcome responses from many, and quite frankly, there's a lot who will join the Republican Party because of this.
Okay. You are conservative on many issues, though, when it comes to being pro-life, when it comes to immigration. What would you do differently? And do you believe that the president currently is granting amnesty to illegal immigrants? And if you were the president, how would you do it differently?
Well, yes, I do think he's very sympathetic to amnesty. I think that is his plan. I believe since his meeting in April of 2005 with Mexico and Canada, there is a plan in place for the North American Union, amnesty, even a North American Union monetary system. And that's why he's weak on immigration and borders. I mean, we're sending our border guards over to Iraq. I say bring the border guards home and protect our borders, and not to say that we shouldn't have national sovereignty. I think that's very, very important. So I disagree in those areas.
We have under 2 minutes, so I want to get these answers short so that we can get as many responses from you as possible. Rick Bailey from Washington writes, I live on Social Security disability. I do get the max available, but would like to know if Congressman Paul thinks he could survive on $1,350 a month and still be able to pay the bills, including the medical, the drug charges that Medicare doesn't cover or doesn't cover well.
No, I couldn't live on it, but I do more than anybody else, because I have never, because I'm such a fiscal conservative, I have never voted to spend 1 penny out of the Social Security fund. And I have a bill in that would literally prevent anybody else from doing it. And I have an answer for the Social Security system. One is I'd let the young people get out, but I would save the money by bringing our troops home and put it in and make sure he's taken care of, because we have taught so many generations now to be totally dependent on the government, and we don't want to turn them out in the street.
All right, let's move to gun control. David Pritchett from Orlando, Florida writes, as a concealed firearm permit holder in my state of Florida, I was appalled recently when I drove up I-95 to visit family in a northern state and the various unconstitutional laws regarding gun ownership. Through various states along the way, I had to make sure my firearm was unloaded and locked away in the trunk. As president, would you work to protect the right of lawful gun owners to transport legally owned firearms to other states as they visit family or places?
Absolutely. This is a question that comes up quite frequently. You have to do it without totally ignoring states' rights, because just remember, my medical license can't be used in any state. But I definitely would work in that direction. I think just the interstate commerce clause and property rights would mean that we could carry our guns back and forth. Just think, when they passed the Second Amendment, they never thought for a minute that you, in those early days, that you couldn't carry your shotgun with you when you went from one state to the next. So, no. The right to carry and bear arms should be interstate.
All right, that's all the time we have. But Texas Congressman Ron Paul, very great to hear from you, and thank you so much to all our emails. We had so many more, but unfortunately, we don't have a full hour with you. So thank you again, though, for coming on.
Thank you.
Well, so you heard about that big